Melania Trump, First Lady of the United States, has filed a massive $100 million defamation lawsuit against the hosts of The View. This legal battle is causing a major stir in the media industry, raising serious questions about free speech, media responsibility, and the protection of personal reputations. The lawsuit stems from several controversial and deeply personal comments made by The View hosts about Melania during a recent episode. They discussed her time in the White House and suggested that she was unhappy in her role as First Lady and in her marriage to Donald Trump. One of the most shocking claims was that Melania hates her husband and no longer wanted to be First Lady. They also alleged that she disliked Christmas traditions, refused to sleep in the same room with her husband, and was generally resentful of her position in the public eye. One host even went as far as to imply that Melania might want to take him out, a comment that was seen as reckless and dangerous, especially considering the former president had survived 2 assassination attempts. This inflammatory remark sparked outrage among many who felt that such language was irresponsible and crossed a line. Beyond these explosive comments, The View hosts criticized Melania's choices during her time in the White House. They scrutinized her redesign of the Rose Garden and her apparent lack of enthusiasm for traditional First Lady duties, such as decorating the White House for Christmas. These remarks painted a picture of someone who was resentful, detached, and unwilling to fulfill the role she had taken on. For Melania, who has always maintained a private and guarded personal life, these public attacks were reportedly infuriating. She viewed these statements as false and damaging to her character. In response, she took decisive legal action by filing a defamation lawsuit, claiming that the comments were not only baseless but also severely harmful to her reputation. Unlike many public figures who often ignore media criticism or release brief public statements, Melania's decision to sue shows she is determined to fight back. By taking this step, she is making it clear that she will not allow false narratives about her personal life to go unchallenged. This legal move is not just about personal feelings, it's about protecting her image and holding media figures accountable for spreading misinformation. This lawsuit carries significant implications beyond Melania's personal reputation. It raises critical questions about the limits of free speech and the responsibilities of media outlets when discussing public figures. If Melania wins the case, it could set a legal precedent that forces media personalities and talk shows to be more cautious when making speculative or harmful statements about celebrities, politicians, and their families. Such a ruling could reshape how media platforms handle controversial topics. On one hand, it might encourage more responsible journalism and reduce the spread of harmful gossip. On the other hand, critics worry it could have a chilling effect on free speech, making media outlets hesitant to discuss public figures out of fear of legal consequences. The timing of Melania's lawsuit is also noteworthy. Filing such a high-stakes legal claim right now could have broader impacts on how the media engages with public discourse, especially as political tensions remain high in the country. This legal battle could influence how future defamation cases are handled, and may prompt media outlets to rethink how they approach sensitive or speculative stories. Critics of The View argue that the show caters to a liberal audience that enjoys criticism of conservative figures, and this lawsuit might expose a bias in how certain media outlets treat public figures. Supporters of Melania believe that the host's comments were not only disrespectful, but also damaging, reinforcing harmful stereotypes and assumptions. On the other hand, supporters of The View argue that talk shows have always engaged in speculation and opinion, and that restricting such discussions could endanger freedom of expression. They believe media personalities should have the right to discuss public figures without the constant threat of legal action. At its core, this case is about balancing the rights of public figures to protect their reputations with the media's right to free speech. It questions how far the media can go in speculating about someone's private life, and whether public criticism crosses the line into defamation. If Melania's lawsuit is successful, it could signal a major shift in how public figures fight back against media criticism. Media outlets may become more cautious, and talk shows might avoid making bold or speculative statements about public figures to avoid similar lawsuits. This could lead to a more careful media landscape, but might also limit open discussions about politicians and celebrities. However, if Melania loses the case, it could reaffirm the media's freedom to discuss public figures without fear of legal retaliation, solidifying protections for free speech in the entertainment and news industries. Regardless of the outcome, this lawsuit has already sparked widespread debate about media responsibility, public perception, and the fine line between free speech and defamation. It has drawn national attention, with people on both sides of the political spectrum weighing in on whether Melania's lawsuit is justified or an overreaction. Melania Trump's decision to take legal action sends a powerful message that she is not willing to be a passive target of harmful media narratives. This case has the potential to reshape how public figures interact with the media and how media outlets handle personal commentary about public personalities. As the legal battle unfolds, it will continue to capture public interest and could have lasting consequences for media practices and the rights of public figures. Whether this lawsuit results in a victory for Melania or a reinforcement of media freedoms, it is clear that the outcome will influence the relationship between public figures and the media for years to come. Donald Trump is making headlines for various reasons, but now, his wife Melania Trump is attracting media attention for filing a $100 million defamation lawsuit against The View. This surprising legal move has led many to speculate whether Melania's lawsuit is a calculated strategy to redirect the media spotlight onto herself, especially given Donald Trump's ongoing controversies and legal battles that have dominated the news. Could this lawsuit be part of a larger plan to re-establish her presence in the media? It's a possibility worth considering. The lawsuit was triggered by several damaging and deeply personal comments made about Melania on The View. One of the most shocking claims was that Melania hates her husband and no longer wanted to live with him. Such statements, which cross the line from opinion into harmful gossip, were deeply personal and potentially harmful to Melania's public image. For many viewers, these remarks were shocking enough to warrant a second listen due to their audacity. Adding to the controversy, the hosts discussed allegations that Donald Trump had been unfaithful while Melania was pregnant. They suggested that he distanced himself from Melania because he wasn't attracted to her during pregnancy and felt neglected once their baby was born. These speculative and inflammatory comments were seen as highly disrespectful and harmful, further blurring the line between media opinion and defamation. What stands out in this situation is how quickly Melania responded. Public figures often ignore media criticism or issue carefully crafted statements, but Melania chose a more aggressive approach by filing a lawsuit. This isn't just a publicity stunt. Her $100 million lawsuit signals that she is serious about defending her personal and public reputation. This legal battle raises important questions about the relationship between public figures and the media. Can celebrities and politicians expect total privacy, or must they accept a certain level of public scrutiny due to their fame? More importantly, where should the line be drawn between free speech and defamation? The outcome of this case could significantly reshape media practices, as legal experts suggest it might set new standards for how the media handles personal stories about public figures. If Melania wins this lawsuit, it could lead to major changes in how talk shows, news outlets, and entertainment platforms discuss celebrities and politicians. Media organizations might become more cautious when making speculative or personal comments about public figures, leading to a more responsible media environment. However, critics argue that this could also threaten freedom of speech, making media outlets hesitant to express opinions or discuss public figures for fear of legal consequences. There are already mixed reactions to Melania's lawsuit. Some critics believe she is using the situation for publicity, while others argue she is taking a stand to protect her reputation and set clear boundaries for media behavior. The truth may lie somewhere in between, but one thing is certain. This lawsuit is shining a spotlight on the complex relationship between fame, personal privacy, and media responsibility. Beyond the lawsuit, Melania has recently sparked conversations about her stance on personal freedoms. In a video promoting her memoir, she emphasized the importance of individual freedom and women's rights. This has led some to question how her personal views align with Donald Trump's political actions, particularly his stance on reproductive rights. Such contradictions only add more complexity to the public's perception of the former First Lady. As this legal battle unfolds, all eyes will be on both Melania and The View to see how the courts handle these defamation claims. This lawsuit isn't just about the money. It's about setting a precedent for how the media can talk about public figures. If Melania wins, it could lead to a significant shift in media practices, making outlets more careful about how they discuss celebrities and political figures. However, if she loses, it could reinforce the media's right to free speech and protect their ability to openly discuss public figures without fear of legal action. Either outcome will have lasting implications for media freedom and how public figures defend their reputations. This case is far from over, and the drama is just beginning. Whether Melania is right to sue, or if this lawsuit could set a dangerous precedent for media freedom, is up for debate. Regardless of the outcome, the case will likely be talked about for a long time. It brings to light the ongoing tension between personal privacy and media responsibility, and it could reshape how the media operates moving forward. As this legal battle continues, it will be interesting to see how the story develops and what impact it will have on the media landscape.